Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Merlin. Last time on Merlin, we had a lesson in vengeance, where basically we continued on with Gwen being a traitor, sort of, more like being brainwashed by Morgana. She tried to kill Arthur by tampering with his saddle, and all it did was get Samwell Tarly killed. Doesn't that suck? And then she tried to poison Arthur, but Merlin was able to save him. She almost got Merlin killed, actually, and she almost took the throne, but luckily Arthur survived, and that was pretty much that. It was a good episode, and I guess that's pretty much that. We are moving on now into episode 8. We are really powering through this season, aren't we? Yeah. Don't know what we're going to be doing this time, but I guess it'll be more of the whole brainwashed Guinevere thing, so we'll have to see. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments. This is also where I say if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Merlin, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link there, that will take you over to the reaction. You can watch it, you can hopefully have a good time. When you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this video for the discussion. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Merlin. Here we go. Alrighty, another episode that so we've sort of developed a pattern in the past couple episodes where, and it really is just the past couple of episodes, you know? And here, let me bring up a list to be sure I remember all the episodes. Just so I can remember all the episodes we've had this season. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, it's really just been the past couple episodes that really not a lot has happened. Now, I say this knowing that in the past couple episodes, we have had the death of Elian and the brainwashing of Gwen. But not a ton of things are really happening, you know? Like, I don't know. Like, is it me? I don't know why these episodes, like they're good, but they're not amazing. I don't know. Maybe, granted, we had a lot of good episodes, like, right in a row, you know? Sword in the Stone was, yeah, even if I had my problems with Sword in the Stone, it was still pretty interesting. Arthur's Bane was good. Death Song of Uther Pendragon was great. Another Sorrow and the Desir. Both of those had, you know, really interesting stuff that we could talk about. But, like, the past, you know, what is this, 4 episodes maybe? What was episode 6? I don't remember. Episode 6 was... Where is it? Okay, yeah. Episode 6 was the Dark Tower. So we had the Dark Tower. What episode are we on? We're on episode... Okay, so it's just the past 3 episodes, I guess. So we had the Dark Tower, A Lesson in Vengeance, and now the Hollow Queen, whatever that is supposed to mean. These last 3 episodes have really just been stuff happens. Like, these have been... Like, I don't... And, you know, maybe one problem is that we introduced a new concept in these past few episodes, which is Gwen being brainwashed and now being a villain. But they haven't done anything with it, you know? She was brainwashed. That's it. Like, here's a couple more assassination attempts, which... Boy, you know, can't get enough of those Merlin assassination attempts. Like, I don't know. Is it me? Am I... It's because it's not that I'm losing... It's not like I'm losing interest in the show, because it's only been the past 3 episodes that have done this. You know what another part of this is? These past 3 episodes, I feel like you could have cut them all down to 20 minutes and they would have worked just fine. You know? I sort of give a pass to the Dark Tower, because the Dark Tower, like, while, yes, there were a lot of scenes where it's like, okay, nothing's happening. Like, we're cutting back and forth between, like, the forest and the tower, and pretty much nothing is actually happening. I give that episode a pass, though, because it does, help cement how long Gwen was in the Dark Tower, So, for that episode, again, it's like, while not a lot of things happened, like, it wasn't jam-packed with stuff happening, there were a couple things that happened that were really big. So I kind of give that episode a pass. But last episode and this episode, again, they're good, but they've just sort of been, They've just sort of been. Like, these are episodes I would have expected from the earlier seasons. Like, this is the final season. Let's get going, guys, Even last season, I feel like, had more, had some better episodes. Like, and granted, I guess, I don't know, last season also had, like, Lamia, which sucked, but, like, stuff like Aethusa was pretty good. His Father's Son was a great episode. Servant of Two Masters was fun. Lancelot Dulac, Lancelot Dulac, Herald of a New, like, all this stuff, like, in season 4, like, a lot of things were really happening in that one. And now it's like, okay, because it's so weird, because the first 5 episodes of this season were jam-packed. They were pretty good, Arthur's Bane, Death Song of Uther Pendragon, Another Sorrow, The Desir, all of those were really solid episodes. And then we get the Dark Tower, which, while not having a ton of things, was still a really good episode. But these last 2 episodes have just sort of been, they just happen, Like, here's Gwen trying to kill Arthur, failed. Here's Gwen trying to kill Arthur, failed. Like, it's, I don't know. And so we have 5 episodes left. We have 5 episodes left of the show. And again, I still don't know. And I am actually glad that none of you have told me yet. I don't know if the show meant this to be the final season or not, I still don't know if it was that they made this season and then they just weren't renewed, or they actually knew, hey, this is going to be our final season, so we have to wrap things up in this season, So I don't know if that's the case, and none of you guys have told me yet, and I'm actually really glad for that. I want to kind of find out on my own. But these past 2 episodes, these 2 episodes in particular, I give a good pass to the Dark Tower, because again, that had, the brainwashing of Gwen and the death of Elian, so it honestly does really work. But these past 2 episodes have just been, here, this happens, Gwen tries to kill Arthur, failed. Gwen tries to kill Arthur, failed. Here's another scene where Morgana doesn't kill someone because she just can't. She just can't, And the thing is, we kind of joke like, oh, well, the writers won't let her just kill Merlin. And I understand that. But the writers need to stop, and I know this show's, over and done back in 2012, so I'm kind of, I'm shouting into the void on this one. But I wish the writers would stop putting Morgana in that situation. Like, how many times this season has Morgana just been there and just like, okay, you could just kill this person right now, all your problems are gone, Like, Merlin, a number of times, just kill him right here, and it's all over. It's all over. The destiny is screwed if you just kill him right here, And the fact that she is constantly written into that situation, it's getting laughable now. It's getting laughable. It's like, oh, here's Morgana. How are you going to fail this time, And this is Morgana. This is our main villain, This is our main villain. And the other thing, too, is because when Morgana wins, we've said this before, when she wins, she wins. She really wins, That got Uther killed. That got Lancelot killed and, Gwen banished. Like, all this stuff. Like, when she wins, she really does win. But when she fails, it is so spectacularly awful that it honestly drives me up a wall. And you can tell I'm really, like, I'm really, like, passionate about this because my voice is starting to get a little higher pitched, you know? So, it just, okay. So again, I mean, we'll talk about this episode, but it's not going to be a very long conversation because there's just not enough to talk about in these episodes right now. Now, maybe this is just a little lull we're going through on the show. That can happen. It's fine. It's just the mid-season, you know? It can do that. It's fine. I'm hoping in the last 5 episodes that we have coming up, you know, we start to ramp back up. Especially, you know, the finale. I assume the finale's, at the very least, I'm pretty much guaranteed that the finale is going to be pretty, you know, crazy and awesome and jam-packed. So, there's at least that, but I don't know. So first off, confirmation that Arthur and Guinevere bang. Finally, you know, after all the time I was saying bang on the side, and now they're married, and it's like, have they done it yet? And then me being like, well, you know, in 3 years, how have they not had a child, you know? So, okay, if they're banging, how do they not have a child? There ain't no condoms back then, you know? There's no condoms unless Gaius has some sort of birth control he can give them. I don't know. That's just how okay, again, this is I'm going to be confused about this until the end of time. How do Arthur and Guinevere not have a child, you know? Unless they can't. That's the only thing I could think is unless they can't. You know, if something's wrong with one or both of them, that they just can't have a child. Which would actually echo Arthur. Because for him, Uther and, what was the queen's name? I thought it was Igraine. I don't remember. But for Uther and the queen, they couldn't have a kid. You know? They couldn't have a kid, so Uther resorted to magic, which ended up taking the queen away, and thus the Great Purge started, you know? Whereas, you know, that would actually be very interesting if that was sort of echoed here. Like, maybe the two of them can't have a kid, you know? Wouldn't that be really interesting, actually, if part of this season was Arthur hoping to get a child, you know? Maybe they're trying, you know, they're trying to have a child, and they just can't. And wouldn't that be such an amazing arc? Now, granted, that would be a little muddled right now, because obviously Guinevere is brainwashed. But if that's the other thing, though, she's brainwashed and she's still banging, you know what, I guess good for her, but man, Morgana, your brainwashing isn't that, you know, it's not very potent, apparently, if she's still willing to bang. Or who knows, maybe, like, I don't know. Arthur's a very handsome man, you know? Like, hey, if Arthur was like, hey, help me get dressed, I'd be like, yes, sir. Jeez. I'll help you get dressed any day. Shit, I'm straight and I'll help you get undressed. Screw it, I don't care. Oh. Getting a little hot, actually. Anyway. But yes, they are at least confirmed to be banging, and I'm at least happy about that, because that's been the thing since they started a relationship. I've always been like, bang on the side, and obviously, you know, you guys told me, like, well, he might have illegitimate offspring, and that wouldn't be good, but now that they're married, so they should be banging, right? And, you know, up till now, they haven't. Also, we pretty much have proof of that, because they haven't had a kid. And if they've been like regularly banging, I don't know how they haven't had a child yet. And it's driving me up a wall. The only thing I could think is that the writers, you know, the creators, they just did not want to deal with a child whatsoever, so they're not even going to mention it, you know? But I think that would be a very interesting storyline, actually, if they do actually go into it. Maybe one or both of them just can't, you know, produce a child. Sounds weird when you say it like that, but, you know, maybe they can't have a child. That would be a very interesting plotline, and again, that would echo Uther and his wife, you know? Like, that could be very interesting, and maybe you could see, like, hey, will Arthur, you know, will Arthur go to the same lengths to... I mean, he wouldn't, because he knows what would happen now. You know, he knows that if you create life with magic, a life needs to be paid. You know, there needs to be that balance. He knows that. So... Anyway. But they do bang, and I guess we should be happy for that. So, yeah. Also, another question... Is Merlin... Okay, we've had confirmation, A, that Merlin has seen Arthur nude, and B, that's because he helps, you know, he will draw up a bath for Arthur, you know? And, you know, there was that one time, I guess it was last season before they were married, when, you know, Arthur is naked and he turns around and he sees Gwen. He's like, oh, Gwen, you know, I was expecting, you know, Merlin to be there while my dick is out, you know? Like, so, but then in this episode, like, I don't know if that was just Gwen messing with Merlin, but she was like, oh, I'll take a hot bath, please. And it's like, is Merlin in charge of bathing the two of you? I don't know. It's just kind of weird, you know? It's just like a weird thing you think of. But I mean, I guess it would kind of make sense since he is their servant. I mean, it makes sense for him with Arthur. Gwen, I would think you would want to get in. You would want a female servant to, you know, do that for you. Not like your best male friend, you know? So, anyway. So, yeah. The things Merlin has seen. Which, and again, confirmation, Merlin has seen Arthur nude. So, lucky bastard. Nah, I'm kidding. Or am I? Sorry. Anyway. Let's talk about the actual episode now. Jeez. The druid, the not druid, that was a good trap at least. You know, again, it was a kind of interesting plan. Like, okay, so Morgana knows that Merlin... Okay, here's the thing, though. Morgana knows that Merlin always thwarts her plans, so she tries to get rid of him so that she can do her new plan. Clever. But if you're going to go to all of that trouble, just stab him, you know? Just stab him. Like, why? Why? You're going to all this trouble so that he will be out of your way. Just kill him. And if she's not going to kill him, stop writing every possible way that she could just kill him. If this was Game of Thrones, Merlin would have died in season 2. Like, this is the amount of times that she has gotten to him and could have easily just stabbed him in the heart and moved on, you know? Oh, it's so infuriating. Anyway, but it was an interesting plan again with, you know, leading him out and then having this guy. This king is a dick. What was his name? There's no cast list. Why are the cast lists gone? You know, this is on Amazon Prime. There should be a cast list. That king was a dick. Which, you know, okay, confirmation that... So it was that guy that chained up Morgana. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting. They don't really do anything with that. It's just like, oh, yeah, that's what I did. And that's it. Like, okay. And it was kind of interesting, like, okay, well, you know, he found her weakness, which was Aethusa. Okay, how... You still have to capture a dragon and a sorceress, you know, a high priestess. I don't know. It's still kind of weird. Like, you still, to be able to capture Morgana, even if you have her weakness, you know, if you capture Aethusa, I still don't quite see how you did that. So, I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Oh, I'm yawning. I'm very tired. This is the last thing I'm doing for the week. Preferably I would rather watch One Punch Man as the last thing of the week, but that's just not happening. So, anyway. Because I don't get fired up with One Punch Man like I do with Merlin, I did like the excuses, I like, finally Gaius, isn't just saying the tavern, but I do like the continuity of it, that even, Gaius is such a terrible liar, but that just means Arthur resorts back to his previous lie. He finally makes up a new lie that's not the tavern, and Arthur doesn't believe him. It's like, oh, he's at the tavern, isn't he? Which then when Gwen says, like, oh, he's with a girl, and it's like, I don't know. So, but that was also an interesting excuse. I still would think that Arthur would be like, I don't care if he is with a girl. He needs to come do his work, See a girl on his own time. Of course, then I guess, you could say, well, when does Merlin have his own time? He's too busy, scrubbing your ass, man. Probably literally if he's bathing you. That must be nice. No, okay, I'm leaning too hard into it now. I'm leaning way too hard into it. I do some of this stuff, where I, like, fawn over Arthur or the knights. I do some of that just, like, half of it is for the joke, just because I think it's funny, and I think you guys might find it funny. But sometimes I am sort of leaning a little too hard into that, so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that king was a dick. Like, he's just such a dick. So I'm glad that that's, we're not doing anything else with him. He's dead, which, good job, Merlin, on, just hitting the assassin and doing that enough to where he shot the dude. Like, oh man, that was crazy. So yeah, I did like that. But yeah, like, this guy, he's just immediately, like, he came here for an alliance and stuff, and he was, and yeah, he's kind of like another Uther, honestly, to Arthur. It's like, but it was very interesting. Like, he's just, I don't know, just immediately he's like, oh, you want me to kill Arthur? Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Of course, then, it's revealed he says, like, oh, yeah, the only thing that'll be standing in our way after that will be a servant girl pretending to be a queen. And it's like, okay, so the reason that they're doing this is, the reason he's really going along with this is so that he can kill Gwen and then take Camelot. But yeah, it's like, still, this guy is just, like, way too gung-ho about killing Arthur, like, immediately, So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Let's see, what else? No, that's Christian Bale. I don't know. Oh yeah, there was the kid that helped Merlin, which that was good. I was still waiting for Merlin to just, call the dragon and just be like, all right, bye, and just fly off, So, but that didn't happen. And then the kid died, and it's like, oh, okay. I didn't really care about this kid, like, I don't know. I guess I slightly cared when he died, but that was about it. So, yeah. I guess that's really it. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we kind of talked longer than I initially thought we would. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's kind of it for this episode. It was a good episode, really interesting. Yeah, it was interesting, but again, it was, just some stuff happened. Gwen tries to kill Arthur, failed. I guess that's basically it, Hopefully in the next few episodes, we start to, get a bit more with these episodes. Kind of back to what we're used to. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's it. Next time, we start the final 5 episodes of Merlin. Oh, man. I am going to miss this show once it's done, but yeah. Yeah, that is honestly pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Merlin reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.